the challenge is information asymmetry, right? So when you want to target 2 to 3 dozen companies, it's not easy to find that, right? There is who to target. There is this information asymmetry. My goal for today's session is to give you information advantage around how to cast a wide net. So the first thing you can do is to have lists. Examples are why you should join. There is this newsletter shares super interesting, unique tier 1 startups. It's super hard to find tier 1 startups. So why you should join. I'll be sharing all of these links after the session. This is a good list that I get a really solid breakdown of the business. Let's take an example. So here, this gives a good breakdown of the business background, why this is interesting, who has funded it, in-depth detail. This is of tier 1, just focuses on tier 1. This is a great list. The other list, if you are casting a wide net, is Forbes Cloud 100. This is also, I refer this a lot. This gives you who are the top people today, right? Stripe is number one. Their valuation. Stripe is a private company. It's not a public company, and you don't get public details as like a Google. You can't read it, analyst reports and all of that, right? So, but what Forbes list does is, to be eligible, companies have to share almost the same amount of info they share publicly if they are public. So here you get information asymmetry about private companies that are doing great. Lot of I'm surprised by how many companies I find here which are not generally mainstream talked about, and which are growing. Like it's the growth rate is what matters. You want to be in a raising tide. You want to catch the wave. This is the advantage here. Canva, for example, has moved up to 3. It was somewhere close to 100. That's a signal that this is growing really fast. You are getting signals around either product market fit or big. They have unlocked a big segment of the market and they are growing fast. And going into such companies, you'll have far higher opportunities for growth, and you'll have a tailwind for growth rather than trying to struggle for opportunities. This is a great resource for that. You can see the trend around historical trend also there, right? With this. CB Insights is another research company that does really good breakdown on emerging. So they focus on companies that just become unicorns. It's a good sign that you're risking a lot less when you have found a place where you just found a product market fit and now you're trying to grow. You are getting it at a reasonably early valuation, and you are reducing your risk a lot because there is signals of product market fit. This is a great list. So Y Combinator has a list about private companies. Again, if you notice here, we are looking for information asymmetry, like private companies that are about to take off. That's the goal, what we are trying to achieve, because that is where you can outsize, you'll get outsized returns. LinkedIn also has great startups on the race list, and they do it by region. So this is probably for India. This is the India list. Wealthfront is another list. You'll get. I'll share all of these lists. You can also hone in on things where generative AI. I feel this is a raising tide. Knowing what are the major players here. Even if you're not looking, really understanding the landscape of generative AI, you can apply things at your work, even if you're not. These kind of research will give you information asymmetry, which you're doing things that most people are not doing. And that gives you an unfair advantage. Strictly VC is another newsletter around funding. So this gives you signals around, hey, what is getting funded, what is not, at what comp are things getting funded. There is a lot of terminology here. So you probably will feel overwhelmed the first couple of weeks when you're trying to absorb this, but you will develop new language. You will start to understand business. You'll start to build business acumen just by absorbing these information sources. My suggestion is not to do it just when you are looking. Just you are in a technology industry and you should be knowing what is working, what is not working, where is the industry going. This asymmetry has a big payoff in your career. The second thing, the lists, I'll be sharing a list link, so you don't have to worry about bookmarking or anything. Just focus on understanding what are the different avenues available for you. You'll have all of these resources. The second thing is market maps. So what is a market map? Here is go to Google Images, and so if you want to understand, let's go for CB Insight. If you want to understand a landscape, this is a quick way for you to understand what is it, how does the landscape look like. Fintech, you can quickly understand that there are different verticals or like credit scoring, regulatory. So within that, who are the big players? And then with the data around funding from the list, you can try to narrow down on the focus areas. So the biggest challenge when I say have a big list to start with, most people worry, hey, I don't even know what to look for, right? I don't even understand the area. Suppose you are someone who's passionate about fintech, you feel you want to be in a fintech. This is a great starting point to understand the landscape and understand which players are, which areas are getting funding, which areas are growing, which areas are shrinking, which companies are moving up the list. Those are signals of product market fit. So market map, Google image search is a great hack to find these maps quickly, try to understand a lot of information in a short amount of time. So important point. Again, think of this as bets. Think of your career as bets. Don't get over invested in one company. Give yourself like a 20-year horizon, and within this 20-year, you have an opportunity to take 5 to 7 bets, right? The goal should be that you exit bad bets quickly, less than 1 year, ideally, and within 2 years. Don't be, if you are not actively in this mindset, you will stick around a company which has average returns versus exiting and trying to find the next exponential return. And the other here, Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett have this great analogy around compounding. When you find a good bet, don't stop the compounding. Stay at good bets. Not the reason I say this is like sometimes you are in companies where not everything is working. You are in a rocket ship, but your manager is not great. You are in a rocket ship, but you are not getting projects to the next level. These are challenges where people default to switching companies. Don't if you are in a rocket ship, stay in the rocket ship. Figure out other ways to solve your the challenges that are getting you frustrated. That doesn't mean that you stay in a toxic place. Not saying that, but don't get the day-to-day challenges that any job would have get in your way and stop the compounding. And work in at least one tier 1 company.